Coming up on today's show, we will be talking through the month's big releases, including Creed 3, Scream 6, Shazam, Fury of the Gods, John Wick Chapter 4, and more.
It's Oscar season. We'll be telling you how you get a chance to see some of this year's best pictures for £5.
And we'll be chatting with the stars of Creed 3. To What's On at Cineworld Cinemas. I am Luke Owen.
And Adrian, I did it. Dan Layton.
I thought you were just going to introduce yourself as the face of 4DX, Dan Layton.
Oh, yeah, I'm that as well. Yeah, just behind us there's a little screen showing my 4DX ad.
Because we are here in Cineworld in London's glorious Leicester Square.
The glittering Leicester Square, the home of premieres, I would say.
Oh, the Queen's been here.
The Queen's been here. Lots of people have been here.
We've had lots of
The Rock's been here.
Has he really?
I was standing here. We did the premiere for Rampage, and I nearly got a chance to interview The Rock, but then he was too busy, walked past. His neck is massive.
We've got actually quite a lot of stars coming down here because this month of March is packed with movies.
Oh, it is a stacked month.
I mean, do you know what, Dan? Let's just get to it. Should we go and talk about some movies?
I insist that we do.
Okay, well, I want a snack first.
Would you not?
Well, yeah, let's go get some popcorn now. I need my nacho cheese. Dan, I brought you downstairs to the wonderful 4DX screening.
It's very cozy in here, I like it.
Although I don't think they're going to turn it on at any point.
But it would be a laugh if they did.
It would be.
I'd have a good time.
Actually, you know what, before we start.
Got to get your yellow in.
Oh, it's so good. Dan, it's the best thing in the world.
Yes.
Oh, Dan, honestly.
Yes.
So anyway, Creed 3.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Creed 3 is this week's big release.
Yes.
I'm super excited about this.
Yeah, I went to the pictures recently, and while I was waiting for the film to start, the trailer came up for Creed 3, and the couple behind me, the lady went, "Oh, no, that does look good, doesn't it?" And I was like, do you know what? Yeah, it does. And I'm very excited. And that kind of audience response makes me excited for a film.
We're in Jonathan Majors mode at the moment, aren't we?
Big time. Oh, we're in Jonathan Majors mode for the next 5 years.
He's going to own cinema.
Basically.
For the next 5 years.
Yeah.
So I loved Creed.
Yes.
I'm a Rocky fan anyway.
Well.
So this was a wonderful continuation of that legacy. And then Creed 2, I was like, oh, wow. We're really going for this now. Creed has become its own franchise within a franchise.
Well, it's playing on the well-known theme while also giving you a completely fresh story and experience from a different perspective, different eyes. And I think that the team at this point are so sure of what they're doing. The cast is obviously incredible, and you have, for me, Michael B. Jordan is an actor of just such stature. What he did in Black Panther, I always go back to, was nigh on Shakespearean for me at certain moments. So to have that in this movie, this kind of franchise, is very exciting.
But it's not the only movie that's out this week. We've also got Broker is this week's other release.
Yes, and I think this one is very interesting, very exciting, and I'm glad that it's getting its release.
It's getting that chatter that I always find to be very exciting about movies. Because, you know, I think we are used to your big releases, your big tentpole releases. The films that obviously get me really, really excited are the ones that have chatter about them.
Yeah, and I think this is a great month for chatter, because I think there's a lot of, you know, your blockbusters, your big tentpole movies, and the sort of little movies that could that have that same kind of energy about them.
But jumping back to Creed for just 1 second, if I may.
Please, I insist that you do.
No, I mean, and you and I could talk about the movie, and I could talk about it at length. But why listen to me talk about it when you can hear from the stars of the movie, Tessa Thompson and Jonathan Majors?
It's a Jonathan Majors moment. It's Jonathan Majors' world, and we just live in it.
What did you think of the IMAX auditorium itself after attending the European premiere of Creed 3 at Cineworld Leicester Square?
I felt like we were walking into a castle. I don't know. It was incredible. The size of it, the scale of it. You know, it was so top shelf. You know, the whole thing. The facilities were mind blowing, and I was very honored that, you know, a movie I was in was going to be in that space.
I think because we've been making these films over 8 years, so so much of what happens in my life sometimes mirrors what happens in hers. And I don't know. I also have, they invite me into the process of really co-authoring her journey. So I think some of the things that I'm wrestling with or thinking about become things that also Bianca is too. Like, for example, I started a production company a couple of years ago and have been producing film and television in the context of things that I'm not in. And Bianca has also begun producing other artists in earnest and isn't just focused on her own musical expression.
I know you are always excited by Oscars season.
I love Oscar season.
Yeah.
I've already planned my Oscars party.
Have you?
Yes, I have.
Is my invite in the post?
Oh yeah, just you wait. You better get your finery ready.
Well, I mean, I try my best.
But it's we don't phone it in. This is an all-night session, so if you're ready for that.
But if you want to get ready for your own Oscars party, and maybe you just missed them, because it happens.
Can I make a confession? There are some that I've missed.
Yeah, we're all busy people. So
Yeah.
sometimes we don't get to see all of the movies that the Oscars are saying these are the best movies of the year.
Yeah.
But we at Cineworld have your back, because from March 6th, for 1 week only, we're going to be showing some of the best movies as voted for by the Oscars
It's a good array of films as well that we're showing.
for just £5
That is a bargain.
It is a bargain, right?
For these incredible films. And I think it's a really good roster this year anyway. When you look across all of the categories, there's an amazing mix of, some of the biggest movies of the year, like Top Gun Maverick, some really interesting smaller movies like Women Talking, and the ones that we have on show. Can you give us the list?
I sure can.
Please.
Let me count the ways. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, Elvis, The Fabelmans, The Banshees of Inisherin, Aftersun, and Tar.
That is such a fun roster of movies. It goes across the complete spectrum of what films can do. I have seen them all, bar Aftersun. So I'm very excited.
Well,
I'm going to book my tickets immediately.
That was going to be my question. Do you have a recommendation for this? Because I know which one I think I would recommend people go and see.
What's that?
Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, because it is such a it's a great movie.
And it was a film that just captured the imaginations of so many people. There are people who have been to see it multiple times, and it's you just have to look at a pair of googly eyes or some hot dog fingers and you know exactly what we're talking about. It really captured people in that way. I genuinely think all of these could be my personal pick. My favourite film of all of my best picture, if you will, is The Banshees of Inisherin. I had such an amazing time seeing it. I thought it was a really well acted, really funny, kind of cerebral film at certain points. A beautiful picture, like it just looked gorgeous. Absolutely adored it. Tar is a fascinating exploration of creativity and of genius and the toxicity of that kind of genius, with a stunning central performance from Cate Blanchett. What else we got? Oh, Elvis. It's lavish, rich. Again,
you want to talk about visual,
and you want to talk about central performances. That Austin Butler performance is unbelievable. And I'm someone who I wouldn't have necessarily classified myself as an Elvis fan, but since I saw it, I've been thinking about Elvis basically non-stop. The Fabelmans is Steven Spielberg at his absolute best. And then, I haven't seen Aftersun, so I'm going to have to tick that one off my list.
Well, I hear what you're saying.
Please.
But I'm going to raise you to Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, which is my best picture.
Yeah.
With just these simple words. Googly eyes on rocks.
I can't fight that. I can't fight it.
Released on March 10th, can you believe Adam Driver versus dinosaurs in 65?
This is a film that has happened. That it's come out, and I've just been like, I'm sorry, why did no one tell me there was this movie happening? I didn't realise, and now it's all I can think about, and I can't wait to see it.
All of a sudden, I was just sat there at my desk working, and I've got my little Twitter feed up.
Yeah.
And there's like, oh yeah, by the way, there's a movie coming out with Adam Driver versus dinosaurs.
Honestly.
I'm so excited. And do you know what? Here's my big... I don't know much about the movie outside of it is Adam Driver versus dinosaurs. I wonder if it's like a Planet of the Apes scenario.
I genuinely have no idea. And this is going to fill that kind of spot. Do you remember last year how excited I was for Moonfall? This is filling that spot for me.
Oh, yes.
Where I'm like, I don't really know what's going on, but I am here
so in for
I'm having that with Cocaine Bear as well.
Oh, yeah.
Big time. I have no idea what's coming.
Cocaine Bear was so good.
Almost the most fun part of it is when you sit down and the lights go down and you have no idea what's coming, and then a film just happens at you and you feel the way I'm in.
One half of the Farrelly Brothers is returning to the big screen with Woody Harrelson, and Champions, we've got an unlimited screening of that on March 6th. However, also out on March 10th. I'm so excited.
Yeah, this is a big one for you. I'm going to let you have this moment. Because
Scream 6 is on the big screen.
Scree IVI.
Dan, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Look, I'm a man of a certain age. So
I didn't want to say it.
So Scream is a very important franchise to me. I was a teenager when the first movie came out, so it was like it was a forbidden movie for us to watch as teenagers. And I've grown up and I've grown up and I've grown up, and this franchise has stuck with us. And so I've gone through the original trilogy, then I got the remake in 4. Which I've said this before on the show. I will defend Scream 4 to the day I die.
Well, that's a reform.
It's a reform, yes. Yeah. And then, as was not called 5 Cream.
We had a problem with this until
we saw the movie and realised why. Scream 5, we'll just call it Scream 5, but Scream, I adored. I thought it was so great. And that movie has made me now so excited for another entry into the Scream franchise, particularly because it's set in New York City, which is one of my favourite places on earth.
It never sleeps, Luke.
It's a wonderful, wonderful city, which means...
It's so nice they named it twice.
Which means it's going to have a Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. Dan...
Is this where I insist that you show us the tattoo?
I'm not going to show you my tattoo.
That's a shame. Luke has a tattoo of Jason.
I'm not going to pull my pants down, Dan. I'm just
no,
not going
it's on your shoulder! No!
It's on my arm.
That counts.
It's close to my shoulder, I guess.
If you worked out, maybe it would have been up there.
But I'm going to say a joke now.
Oh, go on.
That is only going to land with a small portion of this audience that will really understand.
But will those people pop real hard for it?
Yeah. I hope 3/4 of it is set on a boat.
I'm leaving a space there for the people to have their response. I don't get it.
They won't have finished laughing yet. It's that good of a joke.
Here's the thing about Scream. From the very first movie, it is a franchise that does parody and pastiche so well. And I think the best films that are in that sort of milieu, if you will, are the ones who understand. You know, Scream stands on its own as a horror movie while also doing that brilliant job of pastiching the genre as a whole. And it has continued to do that ever since. And we did the jokes about 5 Cream, and then when you explained to me the reasons what... I don't really do scary movies because I'm weak.
You're a scaredy cat.
I'm a big scaredy cat. So I have you tell me what happens in them. And when you were telling me what went on in Scream 5, I was like, this is so clever and good.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to open every curtain, have someone on speed dial, make sure there are no loud noises, nothing falls over.
Well, you don't want anyone calling you. That's terrifying.
I'll turn my phone
in a
off.
Scream movie.
That's true. I should do that. Because I need to see him.
Because you need to be ready for Scream 6.
I do.
Get ready for Scream 6.
It sounds great.
Oh, it's going to be so
And I
so
love
good.
New York as well.
It's our first Scream movie without David Arquette and without Neve Campbell.
No. But we have...
got Courtney Cox still.
And Hayden Panettiere.
Yeah, she's coming back.
Yeah.
And Jenny Ortega.
Courtney Cox in New York. I wonder if they'll do a little moment where Courtney Cox goes like towards
past like Central Park or something. Past a coffee shop.
She's got a coffee in her hand and it's like a logo, and they could do something with it. Go on, you know you want to.
Hello.
Let's play a game.
We were just talking about Scream 6, but still on at the moment in Screen X is Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Yes, and Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is the perfect film to see in the Screen X. You are subsumed by the quantum realm, so seeing it in that full 270-degree field of vision is exactly the way you want to see this film. And if you're still confused about the way Screen X might work, Well, lucky for you, we have the stars of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Them lot, they're going to tell you all about it.
It's amazing. Yeah, you feel as much as you're looking at the screen, you're consumed with watching out the corner of your eyes. What else is going on?
Turn it off. Now.
Hey, that's cool. Where the beam shot to the side.
I don't mess with Kang. Pretty impressive. Wow.
So why isn't our premiere at Screen X? That'd be cool. I want to see it like that.
Moving into March 17th, and perhaps the big release that week, although I will argue Pearl is the film I'm most excited for that week.
We've got a limited screening of that.
We have, you're absolutely right. We'll talk about that momentarily.
Yeah.
Don't jump the gun.
I'm sorry, I'm just so excited. March!
But we have got Shazam, Fury of the Gods.
Shazam!
At last, it's here. This is a movie we've been waiting for years now, because Warner Brothers had it and then they delayed it and delayed it and delayed it. It's finally arriving on the big screen, and I'm so excited for it because for my money, Shazam was one of my favorites of that DC EU era that they did. Like I really enjoyed Wonder Woman. I thought Wonder Woman was awesome. But the movie I wanted to talk to people about, and I kept talking to people about, was Shazam.
Which again was sort of like a side choice, wasn't it? Like a sideways option, because the DCEU was so grand and so so much about there was almost a grittiness to it and a dark, very stylistic in that way. Shazam was the sort of light stepbrother, almost kind of thing.
Very much so, because it was a movie that was, obviously because it's about a kid who turns into a superhero, it had real childlike wonder to it. And it's when Captain America: The First Avenger came out, people said like, oh, it's evocative of a movie style that doesn't really get made anymore. It had this real like 90s Rocketeer-esque feel to it. And I had this with Shazam, the first one, a real like 80s Spielberg kids movie thing to it. You know, it's a kids movie that's exciting because it's also quite action-packed. And Shazam: Fury of the Gods has got the exact same atmosphere and feel to it, but it's now on a much larger scale.
And they've added new people to the cast. Rachel Zegler is someone who I follows me on Twitter. So
you do keep saying,
Rachel Zegler.
Every time we've talked about Shazam, you've gone like, oh yeah, my friend's in that.
She follows me on Twitter. I've never met in real life, but like, you know, she's in it.
I mean,
she's brilliant.
I'm not denying.
She's a brilliant actor.
She is in it.
Yeah. Helen Mirren's there.
Yes. Oh, it's good. I'm so excited.
Helen Mirren doesn't follow me on Twitter
yet.
That I know of. Maybe she's got a burner account. She's secretly a big fan.
You've got to dream big, Dan. But I'm so excited for this movie. We've got a lot of big superhero movies out this year. Obviously, we've had Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. We've got
Guardians on the way.
Guardians is on the way, absolutely.
There's something, I don't know. This is fun. This seems fun to me. I'm very excited for it. I had a good time with number one, and I'm looking forward to this one very much.
We saw the trailer for this in 4DX. We get special privileges when we come down here.
You know, they love us here.
And so we got to watch it, and it was like, that was really fun. And it's got me really, really excited for the movie now.
Colourful, bright, the whole shebang, the whole Shazam.
Daniel Layton.
We find our way to it, don't we?
That's the line of the day. We done a limited screening for this on the 13th of March. Pearl.
Tell me about Pearl, because I don't know too much about it. But again, I think I saw a poster for it upstairs, I went, there's a Luke movie.
And you would be absolutely right. Anytime there's a big horror movie that comes out, I talked about Scream 6 earlier, but these are the sort of horror movies that really, get you their nails into you and drag you into the cinema screen, get you into your chair, and then just stay with you for ages afterwards as well. A lot of people are calling this like a masterpiece of the genre.
Oh, goodness.
And I am super duper excited for this. I think, Dan, you might be a bit scared, because I think it might be a bit scary.
Yeah.
So I'll hold your hand while we watch it. If you
I had a bad dream last night, and it's still shaking me a little bit. So like,
on March 7th, we got an unlimited screening of Alleluia before its official release on March 17th, and you can go and see that as part of your March to the Movies.
March to the movies.
You see what we've done there? March, because it's the month of March.
But you also can march to the movies. I think it's brilliant.
going to need a gun.
Winston, just have fun out there.
Released on March 24th, we have Infinity Pool and 80 for Brady, with a preview on Sunday, the 19th of March. And I believe, Dan, you're very excited about this one.
You believe that because when you said it, I bashed you and said, "Oh, I'm really excited for this one." So this is a movie where you have, I mean, first of all, get into this for a lineup: Jane Fonda, Lily Tomlin, Sally Field, and Rita Moreno. And they all go to the Super Bowl to see, I think it's the Super Bowl anyway, it's American football. Do I look like sports? That's my secret, I actually do know sports. Yeah. But they like Tom Brady, that's the Brady of the title. But I am a fan of, first of all, I'm a fan of comedy. Second of all, I'm a fan of Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin.
They're a great double act as well.
Yeah, and they really leaned into it right the way back with 9 to 5 all the way through. Grace and Frankie, their show together. They're a brilliant screen pairing. You add in Rita Moreno and Sally Field, absolutely fantastic. They actually did a special collaboration with Trixie Mattel, who's a drag queen I really like, that just made me so excited for their dynamic as a four. And I saw the trailer for the movie during the Super Bowl, and I thought it was so... I was like, yeah, I'm all in for this. And this looks like a good time. Like, you go to the pictures and have a laugh. And I'll bring that jolliness from the pictures out to the world.
Well, that's the magic of cinema. Yes, and the magic. I think that's actually the magic of this month of March, because you have got like that whole breadth of options in there.
That's it we're talking about. You've got your big horror movies like Scream. You've got your big sort of out there films like 65. You've got Shazam, Fury of the Gods, if you want a big superhero comic book, smashy bashy. And then you've got 80 for Brady. Why not?
And then if you want to get all action all the time, John Wick Chapter 4.
Oh my goodness.
Is out.
Do you remember when the first John Wick came out? How refreshing that was.
Oh yeah.
And how it's managed to sustain itself this whole time. Keanu Reeves, man.
And every single time. And that was almost the start of like the Keanu renaissance.
Keanu rebirth.
You'll get there.
One day. Nah, they're not all gold. I mean, sometimes you just have to throw them out and see what sticks.
I have been ringing the bell. Like, I feel like I'm the guy. Like, I've been ringing the bell for Keanu Reeves. Like, all throughout the 90s and the 2000s, I was ringing the bell for him, even when people were making fun of me for it. I was also the person ringing the bell for Brendan Fraser throughout the 90s and the 2000s when nobody else was.
True.
And ain't that coming back?
Yeah, big time.
But yeah, John, you're right. John Wick was like the start of that Keanu Reeves renaissance. And he has become this franchise, and he loves this character. He loves being this character and being in this grand world that they've all created now. With each movie, it just gets bigger and it gets wilder, and the action becomes just like mind-blowing.
John Wick is something that it's knowing that you're going to go to the movies and have a really fun trip to the pictures.
So this movie is out on March 24th. Yep. But if you're really, really desperate, and I am, March 23rd, we do have a preview screening of it, so you can go and see it a bit early.
Yeah, just get your extra 24 hours in. Then you can go see it again on the day of release.
And then lastly, can you believe it, the month isn't over yet, because on March 31st, the release of Mummies, great for kids, and Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves.
When I tell you I'm really excited for this film, we've done trailer reactions, we've done discussions about this early on. I'm so ready for this film.
Yeah?
I did not... So I started playing Dungeons & Dragons during the lockdown. And I didn't know that I was going to have that much fun. I love a fantasy film. Even things like Onward, you know, the Disney movie.
Oh, yeah.
I have delved more and more. Game of Thrones was very much my gateway into the fantasy world. And I've started to really find myself very enamored of the kind of creativity and character work that goes into just any average game or session of D&D, to see that in a movie now, I can't imagine the people who have loved this game and this community for so many years finally getting something like this, something that seems to be made with a labour of love. And do you know Hollywood is littered with D&D?
Absolutely,
groups?
yeah. Henry Cavill is a big D&D head.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, everyone's a nerd at heart.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'm a 5e player and have been for a number of years now. Now, like, me and my friends love getting together to play these games. So we've got a campaign now that's been going for years and years and years.
What's your character? Give me the class and race.
So I'm a human monk.
Lovely. I'm a Dragonborn rogue.
Oh, I love a Dragonborn. My friend was a Dragonborn, but he fell in lava, so he had to become a new character.
Oh no.
Yeah, I mean, it was a double crit fail.
I also have an elven druid that I'm hatching, who is named after the Welsh word for litter, because it's one of the most beautiful words I've ever. Sbwriel.
Oh,
Sbwriel. I'm learning Welsh. It's taking a while. But this film, Chris Pine, Hugh Grant,
Michelle
Rodriguez.
Quite a cast. Yeah, I'm dead excited for this. I didn't get to do the trailer reaction for this. It was you and Laurie that got to do it.
Laurie was excited, man. It was
Laurie's
so
a big
much fun.
D&D player. So yeah, we're all very, very keen for this movie in the office. So finally, it's here on the big screen, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, I can't wait because it looks, again, it's the world building element of it. We're getting that a lot. We had that with AntMan, Quantumania. We had that with Shazam. Just being surrounded by these things, and when you are someone who has played D&D and created these characters, and you buy into when your mate falls in lava, it's devastating because you've created the characters. So there's a level of investment that I'm so looking forward to seeing rewarded.
Yes.
In this film.
Yeah, how the filmmakers have taken that investment that you have as players
and how they translate that to a film.
100%.
I can't wait.
We also have an unlimited screening of Rye Lane on March 15th. However, on March 11th, can I get you excited?
Well, you can try.
Well, how's this for size? We have a secret unlimited screening.
Now that is exciting. The secret unlimited screenings always are a good time because, you know, you don't really know until you're there.
Dan, you know how good my contacts are.
Oh yeah.
Here at the Leicester Square.
Oh yeah, it's huge.
Yeah.
I mean, all over the city of London.
They're not telling me anything.
No.
I've asked.
Yeah.
I've asked, and they will not tell me.
I think
it's that much of a secret.
They should keep a secret. That's the fun.
So I'm gonna be sitting here waiting to see what the film is. We have an autism-friendly screening of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania on March 5th. The Met Opera live in HD 2023. Lohengrin on Saturday the 18th at 4 p.m. And the Royal Opera House 2023 live performance of Turandot on Wednesday the 22nd.
Not only that, we have Louis Tomlinson's All of Those Voices on Wednesday the 22nd and Saturday the 25th. And the National Live Event Cinema for the Life of Pi on Thursday the 13th of March. And Best of Enemies on Thursday the 18th of May.
But Dan, I'm afraid that's all we've got time for today, and we must leave this glorious venue.
I might stick around. I've got my unlimited card. I've not got anything else on.
Oh, that's a good idea,
there's a lot of films out this month.
But I've got to go, unfortunately. But, you know, we'll always have the memories. So there's that at the very least.
Is that a quote from a film?
No, it's just being nice.
And if you also like this and you'd like to hear more of it, we do have a podcast version of the show available on all good, bad, and ugly podcast streams.
And if you want to check out any of the movies that we've discussed today, you can click links in the video description down below, where we've got all of the movies where you can buy tickets and go and see the great movies in March at your local Cineworld cinema. But until then, I have been Luke Owen.
And people being nice to me throws me off. Dan Layton.
And that's what's on.